are back in the Forge again today. And so earlier I made a video on what the best way to macro is, and I also dropped it in my Discord server. You guys can find that in my bio on my channel. And right now we're going to be doing top 10 best tips for the Forge as of this current update right now, with only the 2 worlds. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so for the first tip, it's gonna be the best AFK spots. So there are currently 2 spots where you can AFK right now. One being right here. You can do the 2 basalt cores, and typically in a public server you won't find it too crowded over here. However, for the other one, it's quite the opposite. When there was still public servers and no private servers, every public server I'd join, it'd be a rarity to not see someone grinding this right here. And keep in mind, the best race to use here is Dwarf, and that is gonna be later in the video of what races I recommend picking. Anyways, for our next one, we're gonna be making our way over to the Pickaxe shop. So coming out of World 1, you're typically gonna have maybe the Platinum Pickaxe, I'd say, is my guess. And if so, then you guys are gonna wanna get the... So there's different ways you can approach this. So some people, they end up picking the Cobalt, and then I've seen some people grind from Cobalt all the way to the Arcane Pickaxe, which is 125,000. And personally, that's a pretty big jump, and I don't think I'd be able to do that. What I did was went from Cobalt to Mithril to Lightite, and then to Arcane, and then to right now Demonite Pickaxe, Demonic Pickaxe, however you say it. But yeah, that's what I recommend. I'm sure other people have different opinions on it, but yeah. Anyways, for next tip number 3, we're making our way over to the Forge. Okay, and so most people know this, but just in case you don't, you're gonna want to make Knight Armor, and this is gonna be quite more pretty expensive compared to other options such as medium or light, but this is gonna be the most optimal for best defense, and also since you get the best effect out of everything. So certain ores have different effects that they add. For example, ore, which I currently have in here now, it adds less defense. It sacrifices defense, but also increases your damage output. And typically you see people combining ore with mithril or obsidian, considering mithril obsidian adds more defense. I'm pretty sure obsidian adds plus 30% more defense or vitality, and mithril adds plus 15%. So those are pretty good. And yeah, so you're gonna want to be making Knight Armor. And for weapons, it's honestly on personal preference. It's just I don't see many people using daggers, really. But I'm sure everyone has their own arguments for how good it could be. Mainly what I see people using is either like a high level greatsword. I just don't recommend using a greatsword once you get to World 2 until you're like at least late to end game, I'd say. Because then they do the most damage then with the best ores in the game. And what I usually see people doing, a majority, is I see a lot of people liking gauntlets and katanas, and even some straight swords. I see people using cutlass. A lot of people are trying to get the chaos right now, and yeah, me personally, I'm using the gauntlets right now. I have a pretty good relevator with Demonite and Darkrai and some other ores. So yeah. Anyways, our next tip number 4, is gonna be race recommendations. So as of right now, there's currently 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 races in the game right now. And so what usually people start off with is human. They spawn in as a human typically. I think it can vary though, but that'll be most of the time anyways. So you're gonna start off with 3 rerolls, and you can redeem code as of right now. I think there's a code. I'll type it in the chat here. If it's FORG, all capitals, exclamation mark in the end, and that will give you plus 10 rerolls. That is active as of right now, but keep in mind that codes do expire pretty quickly in this game. But they do drop them every once in a while, let's say. But yeah. So really good races are going to be Angel and Demon, because they're the only mythics as of right now. Also Dwarf. I use Dwarf for farming. Like, as I previously mentioned, the second AFK spot that I was at, the Veins, right by the volcanic depths entrance, you can reach all the way down with Dwarf, and you can hit the smallest basalt vein that will spawn there. If you're using any other race, it won't really work. Maybe Elf or Goblin, considering they have smaller height, but I think Dwarf comes out on top here. Like, it gives negative 20% height, and I'm pretty sure Goblin or Elf only gives negative 10%. But yeah, between Demon and Angel, they honestly have their own pluses to them and negatives. But so Demon, it's really good for PvP or PvE. Sorry, there's no PvP yet. PvE. So there's a chance that when you dash, this like aura spawns on the spot that you dashed, and it deals damage over time. And you can see right here, it's pretty good. Better movement speed, better attack speed, better damage, stronger fire damage, 30% height, 10% width and depth, 25% chance to burn enemy when damage is taken. Yeah, and then you get special dashes, teleports you instantly instead of it rolling. Angel has an increased luck instead, and that's more for farming, I'd say, if you're running around farming volcanic cores, or maybe even basalt veins. That's what I typically see people wanting to get Angel for, because of the 30% luck bonus that comes with it. And that's the highest amount in every other race. I think the nearest one is like probably Elf maybe, or something like that. It's like maybe a 8% more increased luck. Legendaries, I don't see many people using them really. Golem adds like way more HP, but you're slower. Dragonborn, better damage and fire. Minotaur, not really sure. I think you get a rage thing or something like that. But anyways, yeah, not too much to worry about. If you get a mythic, you're pretty much set right there. Dwarf's also really good, but anyways, our 5th tip is being efficient with your money. Okay, so I do see a lot of people in mid game. I see a lot of people try and put runes on their pickaxe, and I really don't see a point if you're in mid game, if you have like the Mythro pickaxe or something like that, because runes, if you don't know, they cost a lot to remove and put on. Like, no way I'm gonna be spending that much, bro. Like, it's quite a lot. Like, it took me it took 500k to buy the demonic pickaxe, and then pretty much double that price, or not double that price, another 500k on top of that I just spent. So millions to get the max runes and best pickaxe in the game right now. And yeah, I just don't see really putting runes on pickaxes mid game, because they cost like a quarter of the amount, and you can just save for the next pickaxe by doing that. Yeah, be efficient with your money. Always craft heavy armor with any excess ores that you don't want to keep, and use those to sell to the guy, to the merchant over here. You could sell armor to him, and it will work out to be a lot more compared to if you just sold the ore as it is. It's like a big difference, and that's a great way to make money right there. Another way is to be farming essence. I'm pretty sure I heard someone told me they nerfed the amount that essence sold for, which I'm not really sure if they did or not, but I just did some before and it was still decently good money, so that could also be another way. As well as doing some quests. I know right now when you try to farm for like the demonic pickaxe, 5k is not gonna matter too much. You're just gonna want to keep farming and making heavy armor, night armor, and selling that, because some quests can take a while to do, and some of them aren't even that rewarding eventually. Next up is being, actually no, yeah, okay, next up, this is kind of relating back to the last tip that I just gave, but right here, this is the biggest mistake that I made when I was first starting out in this world. Do not buy the goblin cave, okay? Do not buy the goblin cave. That is one of the best tips on this list, probably, because it's just a big waste of money. Like, it is 75,000, and as well as some decently rare ores for what pickaxe you're going to be using, like rubies and emeralds. That's going to be pretty rare for guys just starting out in this, okay? So don't buy that. You could literally buy the mithril pickaxe with that much money, and for what's in here, it's not really worth it. Just some slimes and basalt cores and just basalt rocks, and then some crystal spawn in here. It's more so for like very late game, because the rarest ore spawns in here, the arcane crystal, and I guess rainbow crystal too, but I typically don't see anyone copping those right now. Like, it's so rare. Like, it's not 1 in 100,000. I've never seen it happen in my game before. But yeah, the only thing that's decent about this is maybe farming slimes, because I could pretty much one-shot them. Like, and slime that sells for a decent amount. The essence is okay too. But yeah, just don't buy that, please. It's a waste, I'll tell you right now. I made that mistake and it was bad. Next is gonna be strategically forging your stuff, okay? So each item, well, most high ores such as uranium, mithril, fyrite, magmite, ior, lightite, they all add a certain type of buff, as well as them having a high multiplier. So let's take lightite for example. That's what my armor is made out of right now. This increases the amount of movement speed that you get, and it is increased based on the amount of lightite that you would add to your armor. So say you put in 3 lightite on a heavy chestplate, you wouldn't get anything, I believe, because you need 10% minimum to have the boost in there. And since this is majority lightite in the chestplate, and the rest of my armor too, I get the max speed, which is 50% extra movement speed. And also I added like 8 mithril which gave me extra vitality, and then also the Ior, which increased my physical damage but lowered my health, which the mithril made up for that. But yeah, Magmite, I believe, causes an explosion as well, and that's pretty good for your weapons, especially high speed weapons, because you're going to be attacking a lot, and if you get an explosion that deals quarter of the damage that you're doing, it's going to be pretty good. So please be strategic with your forging and what you're going to be putting into your chestplate and your weapons, because that's going to matter on what buffs you get and everything like that. But yeah, anyways, next, tip number 8, we're going to be doing the achievement buffs that you can get. Okay, so there is quite a few in the game right now. You can't get the boss one yet, the damage boost, because there isn't any bosses to kill in the game yet. That's going to be coming next update. I believe they're adding a Yeti boss to World 3. But currently what I'm using is the luck boost that you get, which plus 40% luck, that's insane. Like, it's pretty good. Like, it obviously starts out pretty mid, plus 8%, but it works up slowly, and once you get 100 hours played in this game, you get plus 40% luck, which is insane considering my pickaxe only adds 51% luck. I'm pretty much getting almost double right there. Like, it's really good. And obviously there's going to be different ones that you're going to want to be using for different things, different tasks you're going to be performing. So let's see here, like mind power boost, maybe if you're farming veins. Even then I'd still use luck boost. Stamina boost, I don't really see an occasion for that. Move speed boost, critical chance, but yeah. Attack speed boost, this one's pretty good. I don't really have it high because I don't really forge many weapons, I'd say, but yeah, you can get that pretty good. Next up we got the runes. So runes are very good, and let's just say this rune right here, the miner shard. So you could be adding plus 8% overall luck increase, and the ones on my pickaxe right now are higher than that. I got 15, 14 extra mine damage, and 12% faster mining. This helps quite a lot, and you just get different runes. I believe the miner ones are from bombers and the delver miners in the first world that you can kill, and those will give you the runes for mining. And for the other runes, typically I farm down in the volcanic depths. That's where I find the highest chance of me getting any other rune. Yeah, keep your runes, and you can also star things in the corner here. So let's say you go to auto sell, okay, and you have this not starred. You go sell, select all. It's gonna put it in there, but the ones that I do have starred and my ores as well, it's gonna keep in there, and it's not gonna sell them. This is what I have hooked up to my macro. In my previous video, I have it selecting all, so it does select everything in my inventory and puts it in there to sell. And you it just sells it. Yeah. Anyways, next tip, learning the attack patterns of certain NPCs. We're just gonna make our way over to a volcanic. With slimes, they'll show a red marker when they're about to swing, so you can just predict the parry, like so. Make it a lot easier. It's a bit laggy, but yeah, you kind of see them when they're about to swing. Predict the parry, and it'll make it a lot easier to kill some of these NPCs. Reapers can be a little bit difficult because they have I'm very laggy right now, but they have a special move that can make it a little bit difficult, and Reapers are the only NPC in the game right now, I believe, that can also parry, so it can get annoying sometimes, considering they also have really high HP. Like this one right here has 1,000, which is, it's diabolical, man. And yeah, learning the attack patterns is very crucial. Anyways, that's all for this video. Feel free to join the Discord, link to my bio on my YouTube, and I'll be hosting giveaways in there for some game passes in the future once I reach more subscribers, and you guys can help that for this video. And thank you very much. Bye bye.